like it has something to do with the all right, go live, go live. Are we live? Are we living? Am I alive? Do I have a pulse?
Nothing on my end, at least for another 60 more seconds.
At least another. It's about 20 seconds, I think. That's the other thing. Like, huh?
It hasn't reached my side of the world yet.
Yeah, yep. That's the other thing. Like, the Twitch, like, in YouTube, it's like a 20-second delay, but in Twitch, it's like 2 seconds. It's like fantastic.
Oh gosh, it's a 40-second delay.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. But that's just it. That's just the thing. So I'm currently streaming at about 1.7 megabits up, and that's not ideal. But with Twitch, I got like 3.6 up, so that's pretty good.
Standard's 10 megabits per bytes. It's 10 something per second. I know it's fast.
But like when it comes down to it, you know, as long as it's getting a consistent stream, 1.7 should be fine for what is going on. So like if I go and wait for it to happen, wow, it's taken a long time. Like a really long time. I'm just watching the preview at the moment, and I'm still twiddling with the little
19,
black thing.
20, 21,
yep
22, 23,
and
24, 25. Oh, right on 25.
yep. There it goes. Yeah, it's just like the stream's current bitrate, 1617, is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you use a stream bitrate of 4.5 megabits a second. I'm like, I would, but mate, there's a bit of an issue with that, mate, with me being Australian. Oh, wait.
Couldn't you just set it in OBS the bitrate?
I realize I might be able to. Let's have a go.
Yeah, you can. I keep forgetting I have OBS, but I am using Stream.
Like, my internet connection just isn't good for it. That's like the biggest thing.
There are some other things you can tweak to make it optimal.
I mean, sure, but like, at the end of the day, if I've got potato internet, I've got potato internet.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's that.
Let's see. Is that
Yeah.
okay? Oh, it's actually, okay.
It should be fine, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll work itself out. At the end of the day, I've still got the recording of it and whatnot. Speaking of, I'm gonna hit that. Well, I mean, yeah, but like the other thing is that I can just record my screen on this end and then because I want to do a time lapse of this, by the way, time lapse of my watching But yeah, that's going to be what's going to happen. Okay, anyway, so g'day collaborators and welcome to today's live stream. Let's get more on this announcement video. So at the moment, there hasn't been much change at the beginning. We can see the bird that I animated in the last video, and now Quillo exits his vehicle, and I'm pretty sure, yep, here's an extra Quillo that I put in to make animating him a bit easier. So he doesn't change that one. I should have used a different scene transition blade on the timeline, but nah, that's not how I operate. Alright, so there we go. He gets out, he looks around, and then he makes a move to start walking. But I think I'll actually speed that move a little bit up. It's make it a little bit quicker. So I'm going to do this, and I'm actually going to cut at like the 30.5 mark. Like this, like this, like this, and like there. So let's have a look at what that looks like. Oh. So I need to delay that slightly. Let's have a look. Oh, actually, I just need to click on his body, arms, and legs. There we go. All right. So that's going to go here. That's going to go about here, about here. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to make the camera cut a little bit quicker so that I don't see as much of the mistake. It's going to cut about 3.2. Here it is. Alright, sweet. Playhead. There we go. Hello again, Yoshimitsu. How's it going? I should like look up what I'm like referencing towards the chat, but that'd be dumb. Like I think if I had a third monitor or something, or even just like a phone or something hanging from the ceiling, so that when I want to look at the chat, I look upwards because that's where I am positioned relative to my chat. that'd be pretty silly, but interesting. All right, so what I'm gonna do right now is gonna animate the blunty or the blunty to move around. This is the blunty. It is a copyright-free permanent marker for use in SFM. A blunty. I know what it sounds like, but it's not that. It's actually a play on Sharpie. So. Yeah, that's right. So that's about as much as I was expecting.
Gotta pull out the black and red blunty.
Black and red blunty. Alrighty then. What? Where? What? Nani to alright, so I need to select the root transform and move it all the way over here.
Oh god.
What's up?
I just caught up to the part where you were still on the work camera and Mr. Quillo's head's a little bit
through the door? Yeah, no, that's fine. You can't see it in the actual animation, so perfectly fine. Animating tricks 101. You don't need to animate what is not necessarily seen. You don't need to worry about animating what's not seen. Says the guy who spent like hours animating a walk cycle that only appears for like 5. Oh, it wasn't okay. It wasn't literally hours, but it was a lot of thought process that went into animating this walk cycle that I did for Penthouse. But it's for a character who's walking downstairs that it's only visible for like half a second. Hello, the commenter dragon. Are you gonna? Was it? Yeah, commenter dragon. I thought it said like Commander Dragon or something like that, and I'm like, wait. All right.
Commander Dragon.
Commander Dragon. It's a stage name.
Oh. Yeah, I guess from my it does look like it says Commander, don't it?
Yeah, at least with my glassesless eyes.
Well, I was watching through the stream, and it's a smaller window than the actual.
Yeah, it is slightly shrunk because I'm using a I'm using a Firefox window to capture the chat, and the Firefox window does not include like I made it. The dimensions of it are tiny bit strange, and I didn't want to shrink the SFM screen any more than it needs to be. So.
Oh.
A little insight.
Why is the dog barking?
Okay, so Sitkin Ator asks, since you are focused on animating MLP models, is it more hard to animate other models like Half-Life 2 Citizens? Okay, so I have a theory, and that theory relates to the fact that I am a humanoid. I walk on 2 legs and I have 2 hands, and I can do things with those 2 hands. It is always going to be easier for humans to animate humans. Always. Every single time. Even if you've trained with animating animals, you're still going to be a little bit better at animating humans because you have a permanent live reference sitting right in front of the mirror, yourself. You know, you can look at yourself and see how is that animated. You have been intuitively animating yourself throughout your entire life. So I have also personally found that animating bipedal people is a lot easier than animating equines. But that's the challenge of it. So yeah. It's also a lot easier to use it's also a lot easier to use a rig on a bipedal person because you know, it's just, you know, you're used to it. Like I said before, you're used to it. You are a human, at least I hope.
Yeah. And it's not as broken.
Yeah.
It isn't exactly meant for quadrupeds.
Well, I mean, SFM isn't exactly meant for anything, really. It's just an animation program, and anything you can put in an animation program is what it's meant for. So SFM is meant, it's like, it's different to saying like TF2 is not meant for quadrupeds, which it isn't. It's meant for bipeds. The way that everything is animated is meant for bipeds. That'd be that point. Unless you're talking about the rigs that are created. In which case, rip me. In which case, there are a lot of biped rigs, but there are specific rigs designed for the quadrupeds that...
2 of them.
There's 2 of them. Oh, well, technically there's 4. And right now there's 2 because there's 2 different versions of the same rig. But, you know, there have been a couple attempts at rigs before, but the newest one is pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. But I still find myself using rotations over rigs in many situations. Like the Quillo jumping out of the car here, that you will see in a bit. Quillo jumping out of the car was designed for. Well, I tried to do in a rig and it just didn't really work out, so I just animated it manually using rotations. But him, after he stands and he steps his legs, that was done in a rig and then ported across to rotations. But yeah, so it is just, you know, whatever you need to do. Alrighty then. So, for today, I'm going to get Quillo to be in the position he's going to start with. And I need to find a good camera angle to put. This should work. So what he's going to do is that he's going to run from the left. Should I put him on the left or should I put him on the right? I'll get his car in the background, which is always nifty. Unless, of course, I go like this, put the camera here, and see it. Oh well, we'll get Quillo in the actual position that he's supposed to be. I've sort of gone back into my old ways of using multiple different models of the same model to make things less confusing, because I can't really edit Quillo in car because his root transform would get all messed up, which would be a bit of a shame. But like, I mean, it's always better to just use a different model if you don't want to edit any of this and break it, because if I do edit that, he'll no longer be fitting with the car correctly. But what I will do is just go ahead and edit his eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So streaming down here. Okay. And then, because like you can't really see his eyes at this distance, but it's always good to make sure, because you don't know what the audience is going to see. You know what you've animated, but you don't know exactly what the audience is going to see. Because there will be people that will be like, hey, I'm going to zoom in real close to the 3 pixels that make up his eyes to see if he's actually looking in the correct direction. Because I'd be the type of person to do that. Anyway.
No, I am.
Oh, I'm gonna quickly I'm just gonna do a thing for a bro real quick. Oi. Just so that he gets, because he mentioned that he wanted to see the last stream, but he missed out on it, and I'm like, boy. We need more people here. We need more people here.
Where's Logan and Red Ace?
Well, Logan's in Canada, and Red Ace is somewhere. Probably, I mean, probably sleeping, because it is, after all, 11:30. It's too early in the morning. Alright, so I'm going to put this on the hood of his car.
So you didn't go to Bali.
You didn't go to Bali? What are you talking about?
Your last vlog.
Yeah? I didn't go to Bali, no. Bali? No, I didn't forget. Like, I've never heard it pronounced as Bali before.
Bali?
It's Bali, for God's sake.
Oh well.
Melbourne. Anyway. But yes, no, I didn't go to Bali. Because Bali's like the prime destination for everyone who is a teenager in Australia. And, you know, everyone's like, oh, let's go to a vacation in Bali. It's going to be so fun. And then there's so many stories of people going out and getting stabbed and addicted to heroin. Not through their own actions, but because they accidentally stood on a bloody heroin needle. And I'm like, I have no reason to go to Bali. I have no interest in going to Bali. And despite my family trying to convince me, they weren't successful in trying to get me to go to Bali. So I'm here today. And I'm happy that I've gotten this opportunity to turn my goddamn living room into a VR space. Well, not my living room, but my parents' living room. And this is like, yeah. This has given me a lot of opportunity to really like, I really want to live on my own now.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now, and I can tell you it's both awesome and terrible.
It is a blessing and a curse.
It's
I reckon.
awesome for the solidity of being all alone. And in my case, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But the downside is bills, taxes, responsibilities of being fed, travel, work. In my case, it stinks because I work in a prison. But it's still, you know, getting up. In my case, it's getting up at 7 p.m. and working until 7 a.m. because right now we're on 12 hours.
Yep.
But originally, it was 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. So I got more things in the chat. Okay. So commenter says you guys wouldn't be the first thing to get my name wrong. That's fine. Yeah. No. Names are a bit strange because your brain is also like, okay, what is a an analogous thing that I've seen before that I can apply to these strings of characters? And Commander Dragon is a lot more common than Commenter Dragon, so that's why they probably say Commander Dragon. But that's all that. Anyway, Sitkin Ator says, has the smooth procedural helped you, or do you prefer to do it manually? Oh boy. The smooth procedural is like, it is essentially God mode hacks for animators in SFM. The smooth procedural is my favorite thing in existence. It has helped me out so much to just make, because like some of the things are like, some of my motions are just like, oh, it just doesn't look right, you know, it's too quick, or it's too slow, or it's too jerky, and then I just use the smooth procedural and it's like butter smooth as silk. Although I would never use it on lip sync, so
Well, here's what I do. I over-exaggerate the living heck out of it, and then I hit smooth, a little bit of a round.
But do you use the motion editor to lip sync?
No, I do not.
Good. Good. You can stay in my server. No, I'm kidding. If I was to say that, then a future Guitar Hero would not be allowed in my server because he does. Oh, I'm not actually. I can't remember if he does lip sync in the motion editor.
He does everything in motion.
Oh dear. No. Okay. I used to get real uppity at people doing things in the motion editor, but then I realized that it's a very powerful tool. The only reason why I don't like doing things in the motion editor is because of the fact that it is so specific to SFM. The motion editor and the smooth slider is such a specific thing to SFM that it is not translatable to any other animation program at all. And when it is a cheat, but like it's a helpful cheat specifically for SFM. But it's not, you can't use it in like Blender unless of course there's a setting that I'm talking out of my ass and I don't actually know. What did you say?
Maya has something very similar to motion editor, but it's not called motion editor, but it does the same concept.
Okay.
Blender may have it too, but I do not know of this.
No, I have used Blender, and it has nothing to do with a motion editor. It is just a graph editor. Unless, of course, I was using a different version of Blender, and they've edited it in the time since I haven't used it. When I was using it for... Hey?
2.8?
I don't know. I was just using whatever version my university computers had on. And I was learning that maybe a year and a half ago, so it's probably that.
That definitely did not come out by then.
Yeah. But yeah, the motion editor is a tool that SFM's had for a long time, and it's a very powerful tool. It's a very useful tool too. So I used to get really uppity at people using the motion editor before, but now I've realized, wait, it is just a very powerful tool, and you'd be stupid not to use it at least once for some applications. My application that I use it for is moving cameras and moving lights. They are much easier to move in the motion editor, especially when you're trying to cut to things, because trying to do cuts in the graph editor is just a pain. Especially for SFM, because it keeps forgetting what tangent lines you're supposed to put on each of the graph points. And that's just that.
I like using the motion editor for blinking lights, animating them.
Yeah. Blinking lights are always a good thing to use in the motion editor. Because it is just a bit of a pain to do it in the graph editor. Alrighty then. So, I think I'm just going to cut Quillo to the position where I'm going to have him start. I'm not actually going to do any sort of intense animation. I'm just going to... Okay, I'm going to name this one Quillo getting out of car. And I'm going to name this one Quillo getting out of car rig. Alright, rigged. Okay. I'm gonna have like 4 or 5 different Quillos. It's gonna be insane. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna have I'm gonna get rid of this basket because I don't want to have him have lunch or anything like that. I do want to know what he's bringing to the airport though, because he's got these 2 light posts for helping him measure out how far he's gonna do his thing, but at the end of the day, like it's not really an excuse to bring a pickup truck.
Yeah.
It's not really an excuse to bring a ute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely a pickup truck. A ute is more if the body was connected. If the tray back was connected to the body. And it was all like, it was like lower grade, like lower setting, and looked more sleek and streamlined, and had a cover. I had the ability to put a cover over the tray. That would be a ute. But yeah, no, this is a truck. Huh?
Yeah, I know what the ute is.
Yes. Oh, that's the pulpo off in the background. I swear I didn't do nothing, copper.
Me or you?
Me. Okay. I'm gonna have 4 posts. I'm gonna have 4 posts. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy all of these and paste them, and then I'm going to get them to be linked correctly. Lock transforms to root transform. Lock transforms to root transforms. Wait, no, I was doing it the other way, wasn't I? Yes, I was doing it the other way. This one is supposed to be locked. These ones, I'm going to unlock. Where is it? Yeah, unlock transforms and then lock it to this one. So Sitkin Actor says, if you were invited to be part of the SFM panel on BronyCon, how would your animation for the panel be? I'm pretty sure the how is supposed to be a what. What would my animation be? And it would most likely be my penthouse thing, but I don't want to be on the panel this year. I just don't want to be on the panel this year. I want to specifically buy a ticket so I can support the convention itself, and I want to be able to have the freedoms of being wherever I want to be, whenever I want to be. I don't have any real particular interest in going to the SFM panel, but I might. But at the end of the day, it's whatever happens. There are more qualified people to be on the SFM panel than me, so there's just that. What? What are you doing, son? Let me see. Lock transforms to root transform. All right, so this stick is really weird. Oh, wait. No, that's not that stick. That's that stick. What are you doing? What are you doing?
There's like a 25-second delay.
Oh my god. Oh, it's blue. That's what there we go. Yeah. Alrighty then. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these. I'm gonna rename this to stick 2 light. No, stick 3. Stick 3 light. Rename. Stick 3B. Stick 3A. Stick 4 light. It's always good to organize your thingamajiggies, just so that you've got good setting of the thingamajig.
Yeah, I made that mistake with the one scene build. I spent 2 weeks on a scene build and went back to it a month later, and I had labeled the props. Lights weren't labeled.
Oh, that's not good. So they're all just light 1, 2, 3, 4. That okay? So I said before that I wasn't going to get uppity at people using the motion editor, and that's true. What I will get uppity at people is not organizing their bloody animation set editor. So
It was only the lights, and I was kind of
only the lights. It doesn't matter, mate. You have to organize everything.
Yeah, it's safe to say there's a lot of blinking, so I just deleted them all, redid the lighting.
Yeah, that's all right.
32 lights.
Yeah, so that was your fault. That was entirely your fault. All right. So Sitkin Ator. See, I said your name without having to look at it. This thinking is but like when it comes down to lip syncing, you really just have to like understand what mouth position that your character is making at the time of saying the syllable. The only thing that you really have to remember, and the tip I will give everyone, hello Philly Fluttershy, the tip I will give to everyone is to remember that you're not lip syncing words, you're lip syncing sounds. You are lip syncing syllables and sounds, not words. I did a short little thing where I lip synced in French, and because I was lip syncing the sounds and not the words, I didn't have to know what the words are saying. I didn't have to know what they meant. I just had to know what they sounded like and what position what lip position that person would need to make in order to make that sound. And it looks okay. It looks passable. And you will see that lip sync in the Anthology 7.
I'm kind of doing that right now.
Yeah.
They speak English, but they're British, so they have the accent. So I'm trying to figure out what was the lips look like with the accent compared to how I would say it if I was speaking in my version of English.
Yeah, it is a bit difficult, but that's when knowing like different accents will help you a lot, because if you know a lot of different accents, you know a lot of different mouth positions that the specific accent will need to be in, and so you'll be able to know what mouth position that specific language is supposed to be in. Like, for instance, the biggest comparison that I have is that when speaking in a Russian accent, you don't actually... Russians and English speakers have their tongue set in a specifically different way, and it is a very distinctly different way. English speakers, if you were to just close your mouth and rest your tongue normally, your tongue is sitting at the bottom of your mouth. It's bottom and it's arcing up to sit on the base of your teeth. Now that I've mentioned this, though, you're going to be very aware of your tongue's position, and it's going to happen for like another couple of hours. But Russian speakers, their default position for... the reason why English speakers have their tongue sitting in that specific way is because a lot of English sounds, like L, D, N, T, S, a lot of those sounds require the tongue to be bent downwards and sitting on the top of the roof of the mouth like that. If your teeth was over here, bent downwards and sitting on the roof of your mouth like that. If you just think about what your tongue is doing when you do a D or T or an N or an M, but not M's, not really, but a T, a D, an N, that's where your tongue is positioned. It's positioned at the roof of your mouth. Now, if you were to speak in a Russian accent, or if I should say, now if you were to speak in a Russian accent, it's very important to make sure that that's a really terrible Russian accent, but it's very important to make sure that your tongue is sitting at roof of mouth. Otherwise, the accent would sound wrong. Because there's a difference between comrade, give me vodka, and comrade, give me vodka. You heard the difference between the two, right? You did hear the difference between the two, right? Film shot. Comrade, give me vodka. And comrade, give me vodka.
Accents and...
It's not really your forte. But it does change the sound of the words. It does change the sound of the words. It does change the sound of the words. That's the English position. It does change the sound of the words. That's the Russian position. So.
Well, the current thing I'm working on now, you have it's Do You Do Poison. So the one guy's talking really loud, and the guy's just like, he's in the library, and the guy's talking really loud, and the other one's talking like a low tone voice, so that both the lip syncs between each one's gonna be different.
Mm-hmm.
More like they're yelling or talking louder, and you can see it in the lips in comparison. That's another thing too. Also animation style, you gotta somewhat match how the body's moving.
Yeah. And that's the other thing that you have to remember with lip sync is that you have to also body sync with the lip sync. Your characters aren't just saying the words; they are acting the words.
You can have an over-exaggerated movement on the body and have an under-exaggerated movement on the lips.
And vice versa. Exactly.
And
Vice versa. Yeah, anyway. As my Italians would say. Okay, so Commenter Dragons asks, say Quillo, how long have you been doing animation? I have been doing animation for precisely 4 years. That is a long-ass time. I just realized. That is a long-ass bloody time. When was the first upload to YouTube? Let's have a quick squiz. So if I go ahead and go to my channel. Also, I don't have any music playing. Hang on a sec. Synthwave royalty free. All right.
wait, what year is this now? 2019?
2019, yes. Okay, so my first animation ever posted to YouTube is the following Renjik Pony test video. And that was done at the 1st of May 2015. So yeah, 4 years and a month. That's how long I've been animating. So Sitkin Ator asks, do you hate... Oh wait, hang on. Red SFM says, oh wow, I forgot that my lock screen wallpaper is a Soviet logo. RIP the CCCP. RIP you. But yes, because when it happens, it's frustrating. But no, because the only reason why it happens is because you messed up. And it's most likely because the rotations you're using weren't done correctly, and like you're trying to do something strange with spline tangents or something like that. But the only reason why it rotates to a position it wasn't supposed to is because you did something wrong. That's something that like. Don't use that as an excuse to blame yourself for anything, though. It's just the saying that it's not... The camera and SFM don't have personalities on their own. They're just programs in a machine. They don't have the ability to make... to have a personality. So the camera moving to where it's not supposed to doesn't really make sense because it moves exactly where the program is telling it to, and the program... And you tell exactly what the program is supposed to tell the camera to do. So it's not moving exactly where it's not supposed to. It's moving where you didn't want it to go, and that is a thing that you have to fix yourself. I recommend just looking at. So you see, with the motion editor, what it does in SFM is for the portion of time you have selected, it shows a trail of where everything is. And I recommend using that to your advantage to set the specific positions on your spline tangents to make sure that things look right when it comes to where the camera is moving. I can't exactly show that with the camera in this scene because I'm just using static camera positions. And so it doesn't really make sense.
I don't know. There's one animation I have on YouTube. It's like 2 seconds long. That entire movement of the camera was an accident.
Yeah, I mean, but that's, I mean, it may be accidental, but it's not. It didn't move where it wasn't supposed to go. That's what I'm saying. It was supposed to go in that direction, but technically it's supposed to go in that direction because that's where the program is telling it. Blah blah blah. I'm repeating myself, but
yeah, I just hate it when you put 3 points. You say, look here, and it mostly does this with rotating and pivoting around things. You put it in 1 point here, and then you put another point at a different angle, and then a third one. But for some reason, it likes to do a spin or likes to go up and down, even though you didn't tell it to. It does that.
Okay, so that I'm gonna exactly position what you were talking about. Okay, so if I was to do a camera pan around Quillo, I'm going to start it at 30 seconds. My shot starts at 30 seconds, and I want the camera to start moving at 31. So I'm going to put a bookmark at 30 and 31. And then I want the camera to finish moving at 32, and then the scene's going to end at 34. Okay, so I've put bookmarks at 30, 31, 32, and 34. I'm going to move the camera around to the outside of Quillo at 32, like that. And then I'm going to copy 32 to 34. Okay, now let's have a look at what that camera transition looks like. So I just select all of them and press 3 to put it into a spline tangent. Look, the camera moves back to the left first before it starts moving to the right, and it does the same for the right side. Are you talking about that sort of motion, where the camera moves back and then starts moving forward? Is that what you're saying?
Even though you didn't tell it to?
Yeah, even though, well, okay, so I didn't want it to do that, but I told it to do that. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yes, technically you didn't tell the camera to do that, but you actually technically did, because that's what your position and points are saying. So, is that what you're asking, though, when the camera moves slightly to the left before going to the right?
I just know it does like a little bit of a rotation before it, kind of like it goes back to the very first one you put down and then fixes itself, even though you did not even make a motion for it even to go in that direction.
Okay, I'm not entirely understanding what you're saying then. I'm like,
Without showing you, because
yeah,
when
it is.
run cycle for a Reddit course model, I tried doing a pan around while I was running, but it just didn't work out. That's why you see just snaps.
Okay. But this specific problem that I'm talking about, that you might be able to see on the stream now that it's been 20 seconds, where the camera moves back to the left first before going to the right. You can see that, and then it moves a bit further to the right before going back to the left. That is entirely because of spline tangents. The way you get rid of that, the way I've learned to get rid of that, you can do two things. First of all, you can put the two inside tangents to be a flat tangent, in which case the camera will not move at all until it starts moving. Or it will not move at all until it hits those two bookmarks. Then it'll look like this. But sometimes I feel like that kind of motion is kind of jerky at the end and the beginnings. But that's just personal preference. The other way you can do it is to put my technique is to put two bookmarks somewhere inside the two bookmarks that you've placed, and then delete your original bookmarks, and then put those two bookmarks in those other bookmarks positions that you had them before, and then the motion will look something like this. And then, okay, so that sort of thing happens because the end ones are a bit strange. So you can put the end ones to flat tangents and see what happens. So there's a little bit of motion a bit outside of where I want it to, so I'm just going to do that same technique again. Put a bookmark somewhere inside the other two, and then replace the original bookmark with the new ones. And then select all of them, press 3, press 2 on the outside ones, and let's have a go. There it goes, a smooth camera motion. There's no lag on both sides. There's no unrequired motion. It is just smooth from the start to the finish. There it goes. But that, of course, is using the graph editor. If you wanted to use the motion editor and be a wimp, if you want to use the motion editor, it's a little bit simpler. All it is just defining the beginning, the end, going to the motion editor, getting that point in time, and then doing the fall off from there, and then pressing 4. 4 makes it so that the motion that you're doing is a smooth in and a smooth out motion, just like this, ease in and out. See what it looks like. Yeah, so it looks like that. It looks all right, but the rotation and the panning is a little bit different, but we can just go ahead and do smooth, because the smooth slider, the smooth procedural is overpowered. Let's go ahead. Sort of. That's why I like using the graph editor more. I don't know how to use the motion editor. All right, so that's that, and that's how you make your motions look a lot smoother, and where to make sure the camera goes where you want it to go. Philly Fluttershy asked, how are you doing today, Quillo? And I am doing quite well. I'm doing a stream today, and it's what I've wanting to do, and I'm going to be able to do a couple more streams by the end of the week, but that's about it, because I'm going to have to put everything back to the way it was in 3 days. which is a shame. But that's neither here nor there, because that's when my family gets back from Bali. And they get back early in the morning, so I have to make sure everything's back the way I had it before, the night before. So there we go. But that's going to be a sad Saturday vlog. Okay, so I've got Quillo in his next position. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure he's not standing in the default pose. I absolutely hate it when I can see a character on the screen who is standing in their default pose. Do not ever, 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 ever have a character on screen ever in their default pose. Always change it in a slight way, because no one ever, even when someone is specifically standing in a T pose, they're never in a T pose. A T pose is the default pose for the character, and the pony's T pose, the T pose for a pony is its default position. But even if you see pictures of people standing in a T pose, they're still not in a T pose because of the fact that there's just slight natural inconsistencies between an actual model standing in T pose and a person standing in T pose. There's always slight inconsistencies, and that's what makes something look natural.
I've always wondered why that T pose was always the default pick for models that are at least bipedal with arms, and never just them with their hands beside their waist.
So, that is a little bit of a personal thing when it comes to the model creator. And I'm going to show you a demonstration. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put, I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and stand, whoops, daisies. Okay, so in order to understand why model creators use T-poses and why there's like 3 different types of T-pose. There's the T-pose where the model is like this, where their spine is straight, and then their hands are by their side like this. You'll find that most in the TF2 models. And then there's the T-pose like this, where it is actually a T-pose. Their hands are straight out to the side, and their back is nice and straight, going like this. The reason why, and then another T-pose could be when their arms are up like this, specifically if it's a model that is wanting to go past that range. But the reason why that modelers use T-poses like this or like this, and there's a distinct difference between the two, the reason why is because when a modeler creates a model, they're doing so out of polygons. And those polygons are attached, or the vertices that make up the polygons are attached to a specific bone, which is what we see in SFM. And when a polygon, say the polygon that attaches my arm to my side here, if those polygons are not in a specific position, then if I move my arm past a reasonable, or if I move my arm upwards, then this polygon is going to stretch. And it's going to either stretch or warp the texture or make it look really silly or clunky. Which is why animators use T-poses like this, because if they expect their models to go up this way, if they're going to have like cheering, if they're going to animate cheering, their arms have to go upwards. They're going to have their T-pose like this so that they already have an easy middle ground between up and down. And so that polygons and vertices don't stretch too much when they sit in those T-poses. The reason why TF2 uses this T-pose is because there's more, I guess there's more animations that require them to either duck down or have their arms in a neutral sort of position going downwards. There's not really much of them doing this. The only thing that's a reasonable difference between, or the reasonable thing is when the sniper does this emote. Is when he goes to his gun and goes, "Get on, mate." But that's only one case in which that T-pose would make it more effective. It is more effective to use this T-pose because of the fact that their arms don't usually go up past the midline of their shoulders, I guess. That's why T-poses are different, and why there are different T-poses, and what is the application between those two T-poses. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna go back to animating now.
You learn every day.
Yeah, you learn something new every day. You learn something new every Quillo stream.
Every 2 years.
Every 2. Shut up. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, that's a roast I felt in my heart. That was a quality roast. That was a quality roast. I applaud you, sir.
I learned.
You learn something new in every Quillo stream every 2 years. God damn! I think you just ended my whole career.
Fucking end this man's whole career.
Alright. Anyway, so Quillo's in this position here, and I'm going to have the notepad and book, notepad and the pen and blunty, the notepad and blunty. Actually, I'm going to animate the sticks magicking out of the trailer at the moment. That's what it's called, trailer. Truck bed, yeah, that's true. Out of the bed, they are sleeping.
Attaches to the truck bed. On a
That's
hitch.
true. On a cowbell. Tow bar. Okay, so do you know your cam is a little laggy? Well, laggy between my voice and the thing, or just laggy in general?
I think he's preferring the frame rate.
It's possible. Oh, it might be. Well, my cam is a little laggy because my internet is shit. I'm supposed to have 4.5 kilobytes. No, 4,500 kilobytes a second to stream, and I've currently got, an average about 3,000 kilobytes a second, because of the fact that I've got crap Australian internet. I'm dropping 30% of my frames. So there we go. That's just how I have to deal with things, because that's the Australian way. So I'm going to go ahead and magic these things out of the car. I'll go ahead and lift it up slightly. I'm going to lift... Oh, shit. Oh, that's right. Shit. There we go. All right, I need to select only the root transform. There we go. Lift it up and down. Something that I found is really useful to apply to when your character is using magic to levitate something is to emit and then bring it out of the trailer like that. So that's why I'm lifting this side up first before lifting the other side, because it just makes it look more natural. Of course, you don't have to do that when it comes to animating magic, because the magic can encapsulate the entire thing, but it just makes it just look that little bit more natural.
Or you can put in a lot of extra effort and put little things in there to make it look like he's only holding 2 points like hands.
I mean, yeah, you could do that, but I honestly think that would use up more. I have this theory about ponies using magic, and one of the things is that you can either be incredibly strong and take a lot less thought to just lift an entire object up, which would be like lifting a car by encapsulating its entirety and all. It'll use up less thinking power, but of course you need to have a lot of magic power to use to levitate that sort of weight. Or you could levitate specific points of the car, which would use up a lot more thinking power, but probably use up a lot less like actual magic.
To say before all that was that the show actually emphasized a lot on how their magic works.
Shit.
So
That's right.
You should probably watch some of that.
No, I will not. Maybe. Maybe.
Mainly the Starlight and Trixie ones, because they're both unicorns and everything they touch is freaking, but
Everything they touch is magic. All right,
It's all magical.
I'm gonna put this up like
Disappear
here.
for a second. I'm gonna walk away a long distance.
Nothing's gonna make me laugh more than the sound of someone yelling something as they walk away from their mic. It's just so funny to me. We've got Fluttershy Hugs in the audience. Alrighty then. Oh, he's clipping the trailer bed there. Right, I was looking for music. Damn it, what was that? Was that channel that Maggie suggested last time? NCS or something? No copyright sounds? I can't remember. Oh well. I'm gonna go ahead and go to this, and then I'm gonna click on this video here. Shh. Okay, and then I'm going to click on this video here, DGTV, and start it from the beginning. Just making sure the sound level is right. Alrighty then. Okay, so let's look at the difference. Wow, I'm really loud. Oh crap. Oh shit. Am I yelling at everyone? I am. When did I close and reopen SFM? And why didn't anyone tell me I was really loud? I'm yelling at everyone.
Oh, yeah. I just wasn't sure if it was the stream or if it was only Discord doing it.
No, it's the yeah, if my mic is loud on Discord, it's loud on the stream.
And you, my friend, are loud.
Yes, so I turned myself down to the reason why I was loud. I didn't mean to be loud, but the reason why I was loud was because whenever you open SFM, for some strange reason, it just decides to reset your mic level to 100. Which is killer to any sort of sound quality. Here we go. So I need to make this one rotate up a bit more.
Anyway, so the short of it is that heavy things are going to be heavy to unicorns even though they use magic, whether or not they engulf the whole thing.
Yes.
Because they have to use their actual strength with the magic. So, heavy is heavy to them.
But if you use something like a pulley system... Nah, I'm kidding.
That's why you always see them struggle when they go to pull things.
Yes. Because like, okay, so I didn't really explain the my real interpretation of the differences between heavy and light, because I actually meant to mention the difference between lifting, say, a ton of lead and a ton of feathers. It's the same weight in total, but you can lift. It'll take probably more concentration power to lift a ton of feathers than it would to lift a ton of lead, because of the fact that you've got so many more little things to have to look at. Unless, of course, you bag them up, but then that turns the ton of feathers into a bag of a ton of feathers, a bag of a ton of feathers.
I think that would be the only way to get a ton of feathers together.
Well, yeah, but like with unicorn magic, you can will them to stay together, I suppose. But that, of course, would require a lot more concentration power. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, because there's more pieces versus a block of lead.
Yeah, it's more pieces versus one block of lead. Precisely. So there's that. I always imagined Quillo as not particularly having a lot of strength, but definitely having a lot of... I like to call it magical dexterity.
A lot of, what do they call it? What do they call it? Jeez. What is magic called in most games?
Mana. Wisdom.
There's another word for that. I don't play many games, so... That was a weird one.
Magica?
Ah, I guess. It's relation to stamina, so we'll go with Magica.
So mana is the actual word for like a mage's brute ability of magic. That is the amount of magic they have in their energy pools, I guess. That's the word for that. But there's a difference between someone who's strong and someone who's skilled. That's what I'm trying to say. So Junior asks, so who can only join you in VC and Discord? And I say anyone can join me in the voice chat in Discord. You just have to have the rank that if I haven't given to you yet, I'm sorry. But yeah, you can join the stream chat if you want. Go ahead. There's no reason why you can't.
Yeah, it's up to 8 people.
It is only up to 8 people though, so there's that. 7 people plus me. Pardon me.
I'm number 1.
Whiz.
The only one.
Well, hang on a sec. There we go. Now you're number 2 since I disconnected you and then put you back in the thing.
Oh, I was number 2 prior to you doing that. I'm just number 1 because I'm the first not you to be here.
That's fair enough. All right, that's fine.
So I'm still number 1.
I am number 0 then. Ha! Gotti.
Don't emphasize that you are nothing.
I'm not. Okay. I'm not nothing.
Why are you 0?
I'm not 0. If you look at my Discord number, you'll see that I am actually 0001. I think. Should be.
Yes.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
And I'm 6969. Somehow.
Well, it's because you said it in Discord Nitro, didn't you?
Maybe.
That's the same reason why I am number 1. Because I
Yeah.
said it in Discord Nitro.
You're the first person, so you can be the first one.
Yeah. Are you able to set your number to 0001? Like only 10,000 people can use Discord at any one time. So there has to be duplicate numbers available because there's only 4 digits.
Yeah. Plus the randomly generated one that nobody. How do you do it again? Let's see, this button, and then that button, and then that button. Triple 01.
Yep, go for it.
Students, I remember my password because it's been literally 2 years since I had to type it in.
Rip you. Oh, they no longer require the number when
Putting in names.
you're mentioning someone.
Oh, really? Because I will hate that if that's the case. You know how many times I've run across duplicate people with the same name, just a different number, and that's how I knew who was who?
Yeah. It's
There's
really
plenty of
strange.
that.
Oh, streamer mode is enabled. Huh, that's funny. Okay, never mind. You do actually have the numbers. Okay, alright, that's really smart then. That's really good.
Okay, that's the whole point of the numbers.
Yeah, the numbers is delineate between 2, but it doesn't display if you're in streamer mode. That's actually really awesome. That is actually really awesome. Because that means that even if I accidentally show everyone's name, that you can't like add anyone from a stream because of the fact that it hides the numbers in streamer mode. That's brilliant.
Oh yeah, I think I remember when I first got Discord, I had a problem because it starts out defaultly in streamer mode for some reason. I'm like, I can't find my number, I don't know my name.
Mm.
Then I figured it out.
Mm.
Took me a day.
A day.
Alright,
Have a day.
I was computer illiterate by then. Alright.
Yeah, that's fair
I was new. It was new to the internet. Discord was
New territory.
Yeah, it was new territory. It's like, what is this Discord? It was weird because it looked like something that everybody knew about, but I had never heard of it. And about probably 2 or 3 months after I got it, it was everywhere.
Mm.
It just took over the world by freaking 2016.
Yeah. Alrighty then.
And then now here we are. I remember when there was no DM call.
Yeah.
I remember when there was no video calls.
I remember when.
Yeah.
When I lost my mind. Alright.
Make me feel old.
Make me feel old.
Back in my day, we didn't have video calls.
Back in my day, we didn't have the ability to just call someone up on the Facebooks and the Discords.
Had groups. You couldn't do groups. Oh god.
Back it up, dude.
Jeez. Rock at everything. She's 10.
70?
Yep, she's 10 years old as of March.
Mint.
And she's still a puppy.
Yes.
She's throwing a fit right now and making noise. Because she knows I talk to people. That's
Yes.
smart.
Alright, so I'm gonna put another camera change here. Whoopsie daisies. That's going to focus on Quillo. There's so many Quillos in this scene. Which one is the real one?
Which one's the real Quillo? You will never know. Okay, Brat, you open my door. Oh, get in here. Come on. Oh, come on. Just don't. Open it. Wait, don't do that.
Doggos. My dog just sleeps all day.
She does too. It's nighttime. She's kind of nocturnal like me.
My dog, actually I think, so my dog's a Dachshund, and they sleep for 21 hours in a day, I think.
Mine is a part Dachshund, part Chihuahua, part Jack Russell, and part like 2 other breeds I can't remember the names of.
That was a pretty interesting night then. Mama had a very active social life.
Well, Mom and Dad are both mixed breeds. So,
Yeah.
I know her mom was a Chihuahua mixed Dachshund, and her dad was a mix of a Jack Russell, but that was like minimal.
Yeah.
And he was more of the bigger breed that he had. Anyway, so just imagine that a gallon of milk is the mother. And the shot glass of a whiskey bottle is... Hold on, I got that backwards. Imagine the milk a jug... The gallon milk a jug... Can I speak today? The gallon jug of milk is
Welcome
that.
to Theo attempts to say gallon jug of milk stream.
Yeah. The big container thing full of liquid.
Yeah.
And a shot glass of whiskey is the mother.
Mm.
The dad got mother. Mother made birth to what is now a regular drinking glass-sized dog.
It's a really tiny dog still. Oh, I know, that's American size. Okay, so Quillo here is going to be looking that way. Specifically looking at the trailer. I'm going to move his chest 2 like that, so he's actually leaning in that direction. So it looks more el natural.
He's
Okay.
looking at the other Quillo.
He is looking at the other Quillo. Wistfully. God, I wish that were me, he was saying. And then he's like, wait, I am me. Okay.
Somebody done did found the mirror pole.
Damn it. Alright, so he's gonna lean bit. Okay, so this is gonna be a little bit of a tricky Quillo situation because I don't actually need to animate his legs because you can't see them. So he's gonna lean in that direction because he's currently magicking the pylons. Weesh, I don't like that. So I'm going to do a little bit less lean. Okay, and then at 25, I'm gonna do this, get rid of that. Yeah, 2-4. Okay, and then at 33, he's going to be looking.
Wow, I have actually forgotten the password.
Rip you.
Oh, I did it. I hasn't changed it to you. Yeah, but I'm also not called the same name as you.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's the name, I think, as well as the number that makes it a bit different. But I feel like Discord has an extra layer of difference between the two, so you can even have the same name and the same number, and it'll still be different depending on who you look at. So
Well, let's test that.
you can, yeah, change your name to Quillo. Go for it.
Is it actually just called Quillo with a capital Q?
Yeah, Q with a capital Q.
No extras?
No extras. If I just change my nickname back to Quillo.
Nope, can't take it. It's already been taken.
Yeah? Oh, okay. So that means I can't change my name
It says Theo Dash
to Theo Dash Shot.
Theo Dash Shot.
Alright, I'm going to change my name back to Ducko. And I'm going to change your name to
That was the nickname you changed. It's about the
Film
actual.
Duck. There we go.
I wasn't even there with the duck meme.
No, you weren't. But now you're getting that. No one can escape the duck meme.
Because you're on the server list I have of muted servers, so I don't get any bleeping. You know, don't think.
I rip.
have it muted. Yeah, I don't know why I have it muted. Nothing happens here much.
I cry.
Wow.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, if you have my server muted, then you won't get the notifications of when I do a stream. So I guess that's just.
I do when you tag.
Oh,
And
okay,
I
I
do
see what you mean
mute-
by mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
I
Then.
do. And YouTube tells me too.
Yeah.
Actually, I get like 4 different notifications from 4 different places that tell me when you're doing anything.
Mm.
Same
Okay,
for the
that's
rest of
alright.
them, anybody that streams, I watch.
It's fine.
Oh,
It's fine. Don't
two
worry.
computers.
Don't worry. I said don't worry. Okay? It's fine. It's fine. Okay?
Console tells
Jeez.
Anyway, what was I jabbering about?
I have no clue.
Oh, the duck thing. Yeah, I came to back. What was I doing? This is about a year.
Hello, Shooting Duck. Welcome to the server. I mean, you were already in the server, but you can join the chat if you want. Shooting Duck, which is Junior, in the chat. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about it, Junior. Like confidence is not the lack of shyness, it's just the ability to do something in the field of shyness. It's like bravery. Bravery is not the lack of fear, it's the ability to do things whilst afraid. So, coming in. Coming in, like, that's it. You're just coming in, you know? That's all that really needs to happen.
We don't bite. We're just people.
Yeah.
Just people having a good
We are just
time
people
for
at the end of the day.
people. Well, yeah, well, both of us are on opposite ends of the world.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
That just shows how diverse we are.
indeed. So he's gonna...
What was I talking about? Oh, duck.
Duck. Duck.
Essentially, it's just gonna be like, so I leave. I think you had a stream before that, because at that time you were a bit more frequent.
I was a tiny bit more frequent because I was actually living on the coast.
I
at
mean,
that
you were
point,
slowing
but-
down at that point. That was like probably your, I'm gonna say 3 streams ago.
Yeah, probably
And,
that.
Yeah, and so I remember leaving, and then like I think a week later, because I only look at the server once in a while, because you're kind of buried, and I don't get notifications, so I don't
Yeah, that's
go
fine.
down there.
Yeah, no worries.
And I come back, I'm like, why is everybody something duck? And then I go back to your recording of the live stream and figured everything out, because I do that with a lot of things. I watch recordings that way. And then I was like, oh. Then somehow I managed to actually skip right to the part where you started naming everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh. So this is it, huh?
Yep.
That's one thing I don't like about Twitch. It doesn't save videos for very long.
No, it doesn't? Okay. I thought it was. You have to be a Twitch Prime member for it to save videos, eh?
For a long period of time. And even
Yeah.
then it ain't permanent. I think it's at like after 90 days it's off.
I see, yeah. I mean, it makes sense considering they're dealing with not only little videos like YouTube is dealing with, but, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 hour long average streams. 1080p, 60 frames. It takes a lot of bandwidth space. And it also gives a really good feeling of immediacy when it comes to Twitch streams. It only happens at that one point, and that's it. Unless you want to
make
upload
it
it to
to where
YouTube,
they have
but-
90 days to see it before it disappears.
90 days.
And of course, 90 times out of 10, people are recording it anyways to be
Yeah.
saved somewhere else, and it's divided. So, regardless of what you do, somewhere in the internet, if you're popular enough, it will be there for later. Especially if you like did something stupid that's embarrassing.
Oh yeah. If you did something stupid or awesome, it's going to be remembered forever.
Yeah, it's just you just gotta go with it. If it's embarrassing, it's like, oh well, that happened. Oh well, can't do nothing about it now. Can't fight it. Literally can't fight that.
Yes.
Oh, the jiggle bones are breaking.
Yeah, the jiggle bones break all the time.
Yeah.
I don't worry about the jiggle bones whilst I'm animating at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a waste of time. I only worry about it at the very end. Like, editing jiggle bones is the last thing I do, even after all the lighting and refinement and whatnot.
I thought the very last thing you did was unlock everything.
No. I unlock everything before, like, once I've finished with that specific character's motions and I'm not going to edit it, I unlock it then. And especially when I'm doing particle effects, you need to unlock it for it to actually work correctly. So, like, you see Quillo in car, the only thing that's locked is his eyes because it's just locked to the world. But his root transform, which is actually what's making him move around, is unlocked. And I'm going to keep it unlocked. Unless I change the car, in which case I'm going to walk him back, change the car, and unlock him again. But that's just my own personal process.
We all have our own.
Yep.
Never really dabbled much with locking, and I hate it so because, you know, it helps. I haven't done anything that involves grabbing things. Much, other than clothes.
That's right. It's a very specific thing. But locking actually, like being able to lock something to something else in the scene, and then having that something else essentially have a different parent, which is that something you locked to, is also another very distinctly SFM feature. Most other animation, I'm pretty sure most other animation programs don't allow you to do that easily as it is in SFM. Lock a bone to another.
Blender does have that, but it's not simple as dragging.
It's not simple as dragging and dropping. Absolutely not.
You have to literally put in. Oh yeah, it's not, because what it is that you have to. I think Blender is you know how it has this web thing that you have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
To start like connecting cables. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a bit
You're
strange.
like a model technician. I think that should be a new term for freaking animators, is model technician. That's all it is. They make the toys, they just play with them.
I'm gonna make this line here his jumping line. So he's gonna put a post here and a post here on either side of that, and then he's gonna start running from there, and he's gonna jump from here, land, and then that's where he's gonna put his other two posts.
Boing, boing, boing.
I'm trying to animate this in so that I can get it out by the 30th. I've only got 4 days left.
Oh, the 30th of this month.
Yeah. Because I want it to be active for the entire month of July. So that's my goal. But I also want to do a whole bunch of VR stuff, because this is the only opportunity I'm going to have the entire living room dedicated to VR. So.
Don't you just have a big enough bedroom for that?
Nope. No, I do not. Because the annoying thing about bedrooms is that they have beds in them, and the bed takes up majority of the space.
No, not all bedrooms.
That's why I said majority of bedrooms.
Yeah.
Excuse me, kid.
Yeah, kid. I think I'm older than you, if I recall.
Yeah, but you're still a goat.
Bah.
Meh. Bleh.
I feel like one is late because I literally spent the past 3 days doing nothing but cutting grass, so I guess I am one.
Yeah, but you eating the grass?
No, what with a weed whacker?
Yeah.
And most people don't call them weed whackers, they call them weed eaters, even though that's not true. It's called
Weed
weed whackers. Weed eater is a brand.
It's a lexicon.
It's like it, yeah. It whacks the weeds. Got sunburnt. It's funny how I bought sun lotion and never use it. It's like, hey, there's sun lotion here. Don't get sunburnt. What do you do? Nah, screw it. Just go do it. I'm gonna play around.
Yeah, in Australia you get beaten on. You get actually kicked out of the beach if you're sunburnt by the drop bears. They really care for your sunburnt skin because they know that if you get sunburnt, it doesn't taste as nice. So They try to keep us without getting sunburned. So.
They don't like y'all extra crispy.
Yeah, they don't like us extra crispy. Alrighty then. Combine Elite says, just joined the stream and damn, it's already looking good. Thank you. I try. If you haven't seen what it looks like currently, let's go ahead and show you the entirety of the shot. I'm going to go ahead and do a bird's eye view for the left side, and then I'm going to show the
tricks.
Yeah, so here's the bird's eye view, and we're going to see what it looks like on the right side. So let's go ahead and go to the beginning, and go. So there's some establishing shots.
Also,
There's a
still
bird.
no music.
Still no music? What do you mean? Like in the stream?
Hmm?
Or in the video?
I don't know how to get to the video yet. It's still catching up.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's no sound in the animation at the moment, so... Yep, so that's what we've got so far.
That was one of my most recent learnings.
What's
sound setups. This learning sound, SFM, how it does things.
I don't put sound in SFM. I just ignore sound in SFM and just do it in Sony Vegas.
Yes.
I think my greatest accomplishment so far is this bird. I love this bird. And that's my greatest accomplishment in this animation so far.
Therefore, yeah.
Of course, these extra Quillos here that you can see in these areas, they're not going to be visible in the final product. Oh, my mouse isn't being captured by this. That's probably something that I have to do. Capture cursor. Yeah, I told you to capture my cursor.
Yeah,
okay, there we go. So these two Quillos that you see here are not going to be in the final animation, of course, but that's just that's what's happening right now. I wonder, actually. Hang on a sec. I'll be right back. I want to see if I can make a pseudo green screen.
It'll work in blue, black, and white, so get a white sheet. Green's the best, but try white.
Nah,
Pretty much white.
work to get the green screen ready. So, because I need to put clothes away essentially. So there's that. I'll just have a banana
well.
instead of the green screen.
I mean, technically speaking, your background you have now is almost white enough to be. You got a banana. I just finished up a banana today. The last of the bundle. Nixie would be so proud. Yeah, I have a, like they call it a photo shoot set. You're gone. I forgot you can't hear me. Those girls are spies. Could be true. Oh, he was getting a thing and found out the thing wasn't going to be good. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep them entertained somehow, even though I'm not exactly a very entertaining person. Anyway, Combine Elite says, wait, hold on, what happened while I was gone? Well, he went to get a thing, I just said that, but he went to get a thing, and that thing was where he couldn't get to, so now he is not going to get the thing. Then he got hungry, and then here we are. You could have at least put some music on. You know, like elevator music, the put on hold song. I don't know, something. Lovely voice would have been better. I was gonna say, how's it cold? But I forgot. It's winter over there. You really are upside down.
Man, it's so cold. It's like 70 degrees outside.
Oh,
That's American for about less than 20 Celsius. Oh, it's about 60 actually. 20 is about 60.
we use Fahrenheit.
Yeah, you use Fahrenheit, but that's a weird measurement.
So is all everything else. We got the
20 degrees in
it?
Fahrenheit.
winter for y'all right now.
It is winter for me. Yeah, it's about.
Okay.
What's the temperature outside actually? Temperature. It is 62 in Yankee Talk, and it's 17 degrees. Oh my god, it is so cold. Holy crap.
Okay, it is currently 19 for me in Celsius.
That's still cold. Isn't it summer for you? That's so cold. Why is it so cold?
Because I am the lucky guy to be in the northern east region near Canada.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
19 degrees Celsius right now. Yeah.
those Quillos are spies. Yes, Philly. Those other Quillos in the scenes are spies. Look at those
Yeah,
wretched
what?
spies.
Yeah. It was 80 something earlier in Fahrenheit. It was 80 degrees.
Mm.
I'm a
Where's the
sweat
truck? I was about to ask where's the truck, but it's over there coming to the scene. Silly me. Alright. So Combine Elite, what happened? Well, I was going to go see if I can find a green screen, but then I didn't really. Because I wanted to see if I can make this take up the entire, this SFM window take up the entire screen, have my chat be transparent, and then me be slightly transparent, but it's going to take it's a lot of rigmarole. I would like to have a green screen thing set up, but I wanna move out and go to my own place so I can start doing this sort of thing regularly and frequently.
You're gonna have to get less frizzy hair if you're gonna do that. I can just see it now.
I don't really care about that. It doesn't care if it's perfect because I just like having me on the screen transparently, I guess.
And your jacket.
And my jacket. Well, I mean, green screen, blue screen, red screen, white screen, black screen doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's just a color that I can key out. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're doing a green screen, your green coat might accidentally get a little bit blended in there.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, but then it'll just look cooler because then I'd be like half invisible because the yellow would still pick up, but the green wouldn't exactly as much.
Hands and
Yeah.
I feel like that Wii model.
Yeah. Okay, so now that I've got Quillo to look at the screen. Alright, so another cut here for about 1.5 seconds. Something else that okay, so a couple of rules of cinematography that I've learned. Cinematography that I've learned. A couple of them was told to me, and a couple of them were something that I've learned. Okay, so the first one that was told to me was by the cinematographer of the game Journey. Have you heard of the game Journey?
Me?
Yeah.
I will in the next 5 seconds.
Okay, so Journey is a PlayStation 3 game made by a company called That Game Company. One word, That Game Company. It's got like a picture of a hand going like this or something like that.
That
but
is why I never heard of it.
yeah, so That Game Company is known for making really like soulful experiences. Not exactly entirely games in a certain sense, but they are experiences. Journey is the more game-like of them. But in their game, it's a third-person game that's really set like a kind of a cinematograph sort of aspect. And one of the things that the developer who was focusing on the camera had learnt was that whenever you do a hard cut, if you don't want to confuse the audience, you have to make sure that a landmark that was visible in the previous shot is visible in the next shot. So you see here, this shot and this shot, it would look really strange if you couldn't see the archway in here. If I just edit this real quick, I'm going to go ahead and copy this camera. And I'm going to paste it as another camera. And I'm going to edit this first shot here. So I'm going to put this camera on, I'm going to make it so that you can't actually see this archway. So I'm going to put it on this side of the archway. I'm going to put it like here. So this is an okay shot, but it wouldn't work for my scene right now. And the reason is the following. If we look at this first shot and then look at the second shot, ready?
Well, 20 seconds.
How do you mean? Oh, well, 10 or 20 second delay, but yeah, but anyway. But if you look at this first shot and then the second shot, right, it works, it's still reasonable, it's perfectly fine. However, if we look at this, my original shooting, that includes the archway in it, the first shot, and then the second shot, the archway is in the background here. You get a sense of, okay, I know where things are located in this shot, in this scene, because the archway is an important factor of the road. It is always good that when you are doing any sort of scene transitions, that a landmark that was in the previous shot is visible in the next one. And that's incredibly important in establishing scenes and establishing shots. So like this one has the archway and the radio and the control tower, and then this one has the radio tower and the control tower, and also a bit of the archway, but that's not as visible. And then this one goes right back to the archway. We know where we are in the shot because we've seen the archway before, and we've seen how the archway relates to the air control tower and the radio tower. We've seen all this. It's established in this previous train. I might actually change this shot a bit, to be honest.
Not the bird. Is your friend.
No, I'm gonna keep the bird in the shot, but I might see what happens if I flip this around actually. Oh no, that doesn't look as good. No, because it's because of the repeating textures on the ground. But yeah, so that's just a little thing. And the other thing, okay, so actually I kind of skipped over a couple of rules that he learned. The first thing is to try to avoid turning the camera 180 degrees. That's the first thing. You would notice that the difference in angle between the first shot and the second shot is only like 90 degrees. And the difference between the angle of the second shot and the third shot is like less than 2 degrees or something like that. If you want to keep coherency, try to avoid changing the camera angle below 180 degrees. But if you cannot avoid that, like if there's certain things in the scene that wouldn't look right from a degree that's less than 180, then make sure that you see a landmark that was visible in the previous shot. That's the only thing that you have to remember. But yeah, so that's that. That's about it. I don't know. I'm not as skilled as that game company's Journey creator person. I can't remember his name, but he did a GDC talk on it, and I highly recommend you check it out. Just search up GDC Journey camera, and you'll be able to find it. But yeah, so
Journey just got added to Microsoft Windows as of this month.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I was just reading up on it. It was made in 2012,
Mm-hmm.
ported to PlayStation 4, and as of this month, it got ported to Windows PC.
I might actually do a Let's Play of it then, because it's actually a really awesome game. And it has, a lot of people will tell you that it was a really big shame because Austin Wintory, the guy who made the soundtrack of it, missed out by this much of getting original soundtrack of the year from the Oscars to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So I don't like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo specifically because they stole the Oscar from Austin Wintory. So that's just me.
Unfortunately, Journey is not on Steam.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. It's probably on Microsoft
Nope.
Games though.
Yeah. Shame.
Hello, who intrudes? Ah, it's the shooting duck. It is the Junior. How's it going, man? To lower it down, lower this bit. How's it going? Hi. If you're talking, we can't hear you. Hello, hello, hello,
Hello. Nothing. Oh,
Okay, he has to fix his mic. That's all good. No worries.
Okay.
So this next shot, I've decided that I'm gonna put the I need to. Okay, I'm gonna go back to stream mode so it doesn't do the big notification sounds because it's really loud. Boom. Oh. All right. So I'm gonna move this camera. I think. All right. So no, I will put it. I will put the things here. So I think, should I do it this way so you get the lighthouse in the background, or should I do it this way so you get more of the lighthouse and then the truck or something in the background? What's visible in the previous frame? The fence. So the fence is what I should put in this frame, but I don't want to have Quillo in the frame because that means I'd have to animate him. I'm being a lazy boy. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put post 1. So this scene transition is actually really helpful because that means I don't have to worry about animating this perfectly. So I'm just gonna go like this, and I'm gonna put it in position, and then I'm gonna lift it up, but in reverse to make it put down. So I'm gonna put it in position like this, have it visible in the dirt.
And he's back.
Ah, welcome back, Junior. How's it going?
Can y'all hear?
Okay.
Quietly.
Say something again. Junior.
Can y'all hear me now?
What? Yeah, I can hear you. That's great.
Yep.
I just have to turn you up a bit.
All right, because I don't know.
I don't know either. Let me just see this. I'm gonna put that at 0. Put this at 0. May as well. Oh no, I have to put it at negative 180. Oopsies. Damn it. Curses foiled again. Here.
Is that all currently map lighting right now?
It is currently map lighting, yes, but I'm gonna get rid of it and use my own lighting for it. That's why it looks a bit off, eh? All right, so I'm gonna put that at 0, 0, 0. I'm gonna look at putting this where the light is, like that, just there. Mint. So like this. Oh. Not even looking at the right position, Lamau. So I'm going to go ahead and get this camera position changed so that it's actually looking in the correct direction. And that's going to have to be like this. Actually, I'm gonna. So that is roughly in a horizontal line, which is pretty spectacular, honestly. Now I'm going to get post 2. And I'm going to copy the rotation, position of post 1. I'm going to put it on post 2. Or stick 2, whatever. Okay. And then I'm just going to translate it in green on the green axis to put on the other side. Easy peasy. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the end positions of both of these sticks. Get the end positions and put them at 34. Actually, no, I'm gonna make a bookmark at 34. Press here. So they're just in the shot now and they're in their correct locations. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna move them slightly this way. Yes, that is glorious. Alright. So, alright, so I'm gonna make that. Oh, I need to work on my back. Ridiculous. Move these mouse and keyboards just a bit closer so I'm not stretching so far. Alrighty then. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull them out of the ground, essentially. So I'm going to animate stick A first, or stick 2. No, stick 1 first. I'm going to animate it first. So I'm going to lift it up slightly and then also put it like this a little bit. So it sticks down like that. And then I'm going to do delete. I'm just going to do this, where I lift it up. Go like this a little bit, actually, just like that. And then And then here, I'm going to move it like this. Okay. Okay. I'm going to delete this frame. Okay, so I want to... There we go. So now what I want to do is avoid having it have too much back and forth motion. Move this one slightly back so I've got more of a vertical position here. Let's have a look. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works. Why not? Excellent. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Copy all of these points. Actually, I'm going to copy all of these points. Go to this marker. And then just paste it on this root transform. Why not? There we go. So now these two are in the exact same position. But then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select all of this. And then move it across to the other side. Woohoo! Because I'm a lazy animator.
Oh, it's called efficiency.
It's called efficiency. Look it up in the book. All right. Look it up in the book of knowledge. Okay. So those things are going to be like that. Easy peasy. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to edit it so it's turned slightly so it doesn't actually come from directly to the side. And then what I'm going to do is that I am actually going to make it so that stick 2 is slightly delayed from stick 1. So about 0.2 seconds is fine. Press 3, and then this is what it looks like. Oopsie daisies. So this has to go a lot further, and this has to come a lot quicker. I think I might actually delete this and move this into a lot earlier and put this like this. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to change that to a... I'm actually going to put a bookmark here and then move it to 34.8. So put a bookmark on this side, make this one a spline tangent, and do the same thing here. I'm going to put a bookmark at 33.9 and move this one to 34.6, just so that it has a more of a, you know, I guess a smoother sort of introduction. That's the game plan anyway, but it seems to want to do a backwards motion, which is not ideal. But the way to fix that is by moving this slightly back. This one too, just slightly back. Let's see if it looks. I'm going to delete this point. Yeah, and then I'm going to put this down to 34. Nope. Does not work. Oh, that's because of this one. Hang on. Let me just select everything and press 3 and see what happens. Nope, doesn't work. Okay, so I'm just going to delete that point, leave it, put that one as 2. Let's go. Yep, that works. Why not? Okay. And so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to delete this point, and then I'm just going to keep it the same. Yeah, no worries. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delay number 2 by a whole lot. So this point is going to come out like this, and this is actually going to come out all the way out like this. Let's have a look. Yeah. And then at like 35.5, once this thing has stopped moving, I'm going to turn on this light to make it look like it's setting up or something like that. And then at second 36, I am going to put a bookmark down and change the camera position again. So, where am I going to put the other 2 boys? Oh, I know. I'm going to put them right here in front of the camera. So I'm going to put the... So I'm going to put stick 3 and stick 4. I'm going to have them start moving here. I'm going to move them all the way over to like somewhere around here. And then it's about here where I'm gonna have them over here. And then I'm going to put stick 3 is going to come like this, like that, and then is going to sit down just like this, just behind.
Oh no.
Like that, in front of the camera, but behind stick 1, just like that.
Yeah, I'm just my wireless.
Woat.
Oh, he's in wireless something.
Yeah, he's like sitting on his wireless something. Sitting on the wire of his wireless phone. I don't know.
I said I was looking for my wireless.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Well, no, exhaustion's kicking in. No, don't do this to me now.
Do you need to go to sleep?
I don't want to. I've only been up for... What day is this?
It's Tuesday for you, I think.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a 16-hour difference. Let's see, what time did I get up? See, I haven't looked... On my days off, I don't look at the clock at all. I just know it's dark or sunny.
That's true. I mean, I understand that. I can appreciate that as well. And then here for the second stick. So the second stick, I'm gonna put it like on top. Whoopsie daisies, on top of the other one, but in a different angle. So I'm gonna put this over here like this, and like that.
16 hours. I've been up for 16 hours.
Okay, that's not too bad.
After sleeping for 8. So...
Go to bed.
I don't want to.
You always hear me say go
rarely-
to bed, so don't think too much about it.
Oh, don't worry. I hear it all the time.
Yeah. So you should probably go to bed now.
It's like, go to bed. Like, now! I don't want it. I want another. I want another one. Thank you. Ugh.
Oof, I cannot find my wireless mouse.
Oh no, not your wireless mouse.
Let's say every time
But
he
I
says
have a
mouse,
wired
it
one.
cuts out.
I think you just need to edit your sensitivity settings. Shooting star. Junior.
Alright.
You gotta tune up the gain.
But I'm finna probably like I'll be on my computer.
Uh oh. Oh, okay. Save. Right. Whew.
I'll still be in the chat.
Yeah, no worries. That's alright.
When the SFM has a freak out moment, immediately go for the Control S before it's too late.
Yep, that's the one. Immediately go for the Control S when it finishes its freak out moment.
Yeah. It's like nothing's moving when I'm telling it to. No, hit. It does it every time there's audio put into it. Like as soon as you put audio into it, I hit Control S immediately now.
Yeah.
Because you put it there, you don't do anything. But as soon as you start sliding the playhead around, it
Dead.
can't take it anymore.
Can't take it. Alright, so Combine Lead asks, hey Quillos, quick question. Do you play TF2? If you do, which among the TF2 9 mercs do you love the most? I used to play TF2 a lot. I played it really frequently. And my main go-to classes were either the scout, the medic, the sniper, or the spy. I didn't really have a specific main TF2 class like I do with Overwatch. I'm a Soldier 76 and Zenyatta main. But with TF2, it is really just whatever I think the team needs at that point. If there's too many spies, I'll go pyro. If there's too many scouts, I'd go heavy and just take them down real quick. And if there's too many heavies, I'd go sniper or spy and deal with them accordingly. So the better question would be what character don't I play, and that answer would be soldier. I just don't understand rocket jumping and whatnot. and the physics of the rocket is just I don't like it. I don't like it. So yeah, I don't
Sniper main.
play everything except for the soldier. And kind of the demo, but also not really. If I've got a lot of dumb enemies, then I play demo, because then I just put a thing down and then that's about it. I think you turned your sensitivity down a little bit too much there, Junior, because we can hear everything now.
So you say I need to edit my voice or sensitivity?
Yeah, make it so that it's just high enough that it doesn't get the background noise, but it's just low enough that it can pick up whenever you talk. So it's a bit of a tango, but
That's 57.
57. Yeah, no, I mean,
Input.
I don't know what.
Sensitivity input.
Yeah, I don't know what your like, whatchamums. If that makes any sense. I don't know what your background is like. You just have to look at the line to see where your voice starts and where the background ends. Medic.
So that would end at like.
Okay. So, this is coming along nicely. Okay, but there's a bit of an issue with the movement here. Okay, that background stick moves it a little bit awkwardly. Let's have a look. If I just press 3 on everything. Except for this one, just back to 2. So that one, that's the one that's issuing. I need to make it a little bit more spacious around that one. Just a little bit more spacious again. Tiny bit more. Again? Wait, that's stick 3. Crap! No! Oh, shit. Hang on. Okay, that's fine. I need to edit stick 2. There we go. Huh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Panic time. It's gone to the full circle load. Oh no, it crashed! Fuck! Ah!
Yeah.
Ah! Alright. Full on panic time.
No, never panic. It's just one of those. Did it again. Well, here we go again.
Here we go
shit,
again.
Not again.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Why don't we have that yet? Why don't we have a thing with that in front of them and it's just the CP2 tree overload thing pop up?
Shit.
Shit, here we go again.
So we're at this. I should probably put like a text thing. Text. And I'm gonna call it crash message. I'm gonna say, if you can read this, SFM has crashed. If you can read this, SFM has crashed.
If you can read this, SFM has done the usual. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, SFM has crashed. I'm gonna go ahead and give it background color of completely solid black. I'm gonna make it a ridiculous font size, which is where
You can read it now.
Oh no, I'm just gonna. If you can read this, and I'm going to make SFM has crashed on the other line, like this. So if you can read this, SFM has crashed. There we go. See you, man. It's a little bit crushed. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it font 72.
Oh, God.
Okay, there we go. So there we go. Ow! Who was that?
It's a shooting star.
Yeah. I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna go X3X, just like that. X. There we go. Dead. And I want to put it center. How do I make it center? Text transform? No. Read from file? No. Opacity? Alignment. Here it is. Center. There it is. SFM has crashed. Outline. Oh no. Oh yeah, I can do an outline. I'll give it an edgy outline. There we go.
Like edgy.
Red. Although that kind of messes with things, so I'm gonna make it purple. OC color. There we go. SFM has crashed. There we go. If you can read this, SFM has crashed. Alrighty then. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that message underneath SFM capture, and I'm going to put this back to where it was. There we go. Sweet. So now whenever SFM crashes, there we go. Big oof, lads. Big oof. Alright. Alright, let's see how much it has saved. So I was just editing post 2, and let's see how much it has saved. It's a real big game whether or not loading your backup is going to be more effective than loading your current file or loading your previous save, because I don't know when the backup is and I don't know when I last saved. Loading.
Sorry if you guys hear like a bell in the background. That's cats.
Okay. Hello. Alright, so establishing shot. Bird.
Bird.
Squirrel. Alright. Quillo's driving. He's driving into the lot. He's driving down. Turns off the car. Looks around. Grabs the thing out of his back. And then puts them down. Alrighty then.
Out of his back.
You shut up. Out of the back of his car, alright?
That's not a car.
Truck. It's a vehicle. Shut up. Alright. I think that's a good amount of accomplishment for today. I'm just going to go ahead and save that real quick to make sure it doesn't lose it.
It's only been over an hour and a half.
It's only been over an hour and a half, yes. But
Almost 2 hours.
I'm a little tired and I want to play Beat Saber, so...
Beat Saber is by far fun. I played that while I was in Cali a couple months ago.
Yeah. I'm going to stream it on Twitch. I'm trying to...
Oh, boy.
Trying to master... you know Breezer? The song Breezer?
No, I don't listen to music.
Oh, no, the Beat Saber song Breezer. It's in the OST. If you've played Beat Saber, you've probably played that song.
We played Beat Saber, but we played custom songs.
Oh, okay, no worries then.
We didn't play the originals.
But yeah, I've been trying to master this one of the original songs, Breezer. It goes like dun 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 dun. Anyway, but
No, I played Discord Howling at the Moon on hard. Discord!
you nerd.
That was hell.
Yeah.
We also played Smile, Smile, Smile. We played. They were all ponies.
You're a nerd. No, but
Not
that's
my
alright.
game, not my custom list.
Because, like, if you think hell is hard, I'm trying on Expert Plus, and oh boy, it's a 2-minute song, and I can barely get past 45 seconds.
No, hell is not hard. Hard as hell.
After having performed this song for like 2 hours in a row, I haven't been able to get past like 50 seconds. Getting to 50 seconds, what I've labeled as quote unquote the gate is a big accomplishment.
Well, I used to own a Vive headset, the very first dev kit.
Yep.
And I got rid of it after a while because at the time, VR games were like meh. At first they were so cool, and then it's just like there's only like 2 good ones, and they got bored.
Yeah.
And it's been like 2 months, and like nothing's happening. I'm like shit.
That's all right.
And I got things to do, and I didn't play it much anymore at the time. I was like, I'm just gonna sell it. And of course, 7 months later, we got the Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And I want it back. Now we got the Cosmos coming out. Of course, as far as my understanding is, the Cosmos is for mobile. I don't know if it's like the other Vives.
I don't know.
They didn't actually release too much on that yet.
Yeah.
But I want the Pro.
Yeah, I want the
Eye
Vive Pro
tracking.
too. Is it? When is its release date? Is it already
The
out?
Cosmos?
No, the Vive Pro.
Oh, the Pro's out. They have business editions of it. You can
Oh,
get.
well,
I think
well, I
it's
mean, business
what?
editions, but I want the consumer edition.
Oh, the consumer edition I think is $600, whatever the new price of the original Vive was. Much like consoles when they're new.
Vive Pro. Just Vive Pro. Let's see Vive Pro.
It's 1600 for the most recent Vive Pro. I think that's the Enterprise edition. So let me look.
For the McLaren Vive Pro limited edition, it's 2,000 Australian dollars. I don't want the McLaren Vive Pro. I want just the Vive Vive Pro. I don't want the McLaren edition. I just want products. There we go. So
Well, Vive Pro, yeah, this is the Enterprise one. The Vive Pro I, which is 1400.
Vive Pro I.
That's the newest.
Oh my god.
But
So-
that's that's for business.
That's for
though.
business, yeah. Because it's like 2,500 Australian.
What's the difference? I don't get the difference. Like, what's the difference? It's not. There's no difference.
Difference-
It's just
To what?
the difference between the consumer and the business.
I don't know. I don't want Enterprise, damn it. I just want Vive.com. Fucking asshole. All right.
Okay, screw it. Just go. I'm just gonna go to the actual.
This portal has no
Steam.
access. Okay, whatever. All right.
I'm just go to Steam. They have the
Vive
darn
Pro.
thing.
Vive Pro HMD.
And not display. Only. That
All right,
means
so
one's
there we go.
without-
It's only 1,200 Australian dollars. That's a bit better. So enhanced
whole-
optics, optimized ergonomics, which is great. A high-res soundstage with 6 months Viveport Infinity membership
Is that
included in
for
box.
only the HMD or the whole kit?
That's for the HMD, I guess.
Okay.
Um,
So that's like, wow, how much was it for you?
1,200 Australian dollars, 1,300 Australian dollars.
So about 1,600 for me. Or did I have that backwards?
Backwards. It's gonna be way less for you. It's gonna be like 900 American dollars.
800. Yeah, let me know. Okay, it's gonna be 800. All right. Still, that's a lot for just a headset.
What-
And I don't have it. I
oh,
have nothing, so I'm probably gonna be spending between 12 to 15 for the whole kit. Luckily, my computer is already made for that because I got the computer with the kit Vive,
Oh,
so it's
interesting.
Vive ready. Back when it was the original Vive. Now newer games obviously take higher graphics cards.
But I don't only want the Vive Pro. I want the Knuckles controller as well.
Oh yeah, I saw those. It's like, ugh.
Like I don't just want the Vive. I want the Knuckles as well because I want to be able to actually like I don't want to have to use the grip buttons on the
Yeah,
Vive controllers because they're cancer.
Did they release the Knuckles? Because I was watching the whole development phase of them and they had like 4 different versions before they actually finally had that one. Well, the software issues they were going through with.
Mm.
Did you see Boneworks'
Yeah, no, the Boneworks thing. That's like, oh boy.
yeah. So that's why I want to get back into VR. I saw that like, oh. And then there's this new one, Stay Silent.
I don't know.
It's a VR. Yeah, Stay Silent. It's like a Western. Oh. And I can not resist anything Western.
Mm.
And when I saw that you can like twirl the gun and like it's all interactive. When they added the whole physics thing with items, I lost it.
Mm. Mm.
You know, using your hands and like almost like it's real.
Mhm,
Only thing, you gotta also add the pucks, the tracker pucks. Vive tracker, they call it. I think it's those little pucks you could put. Well, let's see, your feet. Your
Oh,
waist,
okay, yep.
And your elbows.
Interesting.
I don't think you need one for your elbows. I think you just need 3 at the very most for
Yeah.
your feet and then for your waist.
Yeah.
The rest of it, the rig will determine. But you could probably get it. But at that point, you're like trying to charge 2 controllers, 3 pucks, and you got enough plugins.
Mm. Mm.
But yeah, they're like $100 a piece.
Yeah. That's all right.
When I saw that, like, oh, I gotta get it.
Gotta get it. But yeah, so
But they
that's
hadn't integrated-
so I'll get the Vive Pro once they've released the Knuckles controller, and that's gonna be me. But yeah, so I think that should be the end of today's live stream because it's been for 2 hours, and I am currently creatively trained, and I want to play a lot of Beat Saber. So I'm going to be going over to Twitch to do that. If you look in my Discord server in the announcements, you will find a link to my Twitch TV. And that's when I'm going to be streaming Beat Saber for the foreseeable future, probably about 2 to 3 hours so I can actually master this goddamn song.
I
So
say have fun.
yes. So that is my plan for the next few hours. I'm gonna start that stream in about 40-50 minutes while I just have lunch and do all the things I'm supposed to, and then that will be me for today. So thank you so much for joining me on this live stream. And I'm sorry, Rainbow Strings, that you just appeared, but I'm ending the stream. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that is it. So thank you so much for joining me. I don't think it will be announced on YouTube because I don't necessarily. I don't think it's going to be announced on YouTube. No, it won't be announced on YouTube. You can just look at my server and go to. I'll go ahead and put the link. Actually, I can go ahead and put the link on my live stream right now, so I can just do this right here.
Why don't you just put that in the description?
Link to Beat Saber live stream. Kaboom! There we go. So that's the link. That's the Beat Saber. That's my Twitch TV, and I'm going to be streaming there in about 48 minutes. So anyway, so yeah, thank you so much for watching this stream. I hope to. I won't exactly be able to interact with you directly in the Beat Saber stream because I'm gonna be in the Vive and there's no real interaction with that, and I'm probably going to be alone. But you'll be able to hear me and hear me talking in that sort of thing. But that's all that is. So thank you so much for joining me on this animation stream. But yeah, I will see you in the next one. But for now, this is Quillo signing off. Goodbye and good luck. Yeah, boy. Just gonna leave it running for a little bit.
That the Vive has a built-in microphone that you can.
Yes, that's what I'll be using. Thank you. All right, so I'm just gonna need to go back to YouTube and oh shit. No. I need to get my live stream. No, go live. Do I have to use that button? I'm trying to end the stream, by the way. This studio, yes.
Yeah.
Open
OBS.
Broadcast. I'm using OBS, Open Broadcast Studio.
Well,
But that's it.
Streamlabs is OBS, but it's set up differently.
Okay,
It's
no
got a
worries.
whole-
All right, I'm just going to end the stream now, so bye.
Yep.
End.